Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you for being with me again today. Today's article has to do with Poland. Poland, the European Union, and how the big shots, the big club, makes countries follow the script. And that is by sanctioning them or by rewarding them with a little bone here and there, blackmail and threats. I was talking earlier today about Hungary and the European Union, and European Union withheld some COVID funds, I don't know how many billions from Hungary because Hungary did not follow the script that the Brussels instituted, which is, now Europe has certain values which seem to not coincide with the values of the people of European Union. There are some countries that have milder national, how should I put it, people, and there are some countries that have a little bit tougher people. They would not accept any kind of perversity pushed on them and their society and their culture and heritage, and you know what I mean. So that's Hungary. Viktor Orban, the prime minister, said, you know what, we're going to follow this, we're going to do this, we're not going to do what the new values from European Union Brussels trickle down to us, and we're supposed to follow them, and they are imposed under the threat of withholding funds from us, funds that are borrowed from global bankers. It's not European Union has money anywhere and say, this is a surplus of money here for you, Hungary. No, they borrow it from the international banking systems plus interest. So we want you to change your ways. Here is some money. You don't want to change your ways the way we want it. We're not going to give you money. We're going to give it to Lithuania, who changed her mind, or to Germany, who's going to follow the script. Hungary, you don't follow. Well, you're a pariah. So are you. Poland. Poland is in trouble. Poland, before the invasion, special operation, however you want to call it, of Ukraine by Russia, had some problems with the European Union because of some judges. The European Union claimed that Poland, is not very democratic, and there's a problem with the system over there. So they said, "Oh, we're not going to give you some COVID relief money. So your nation can, because you don't do what we want you to do to our standards." So Poland said, "You know what? And then they say, okay, no money for you." Now with Ukraine, Poland follows the script because of the love they have for Russia. Not that they love Ukraine more, but in this case, you have two guys that you don't like and fighting. Well, you're going to pick one side based on what the boss is telling. In this case, the boss said, you got to help Ukraine. Yes, boss. And maybe they get with some little advantages from Ukraine. We'll find out later. So here is the article about Poland and European Union. And this unelected official, Ursula, this woman right here, see, right? She is, when I'm saying unelected, she's not elected by the people of European Union. No, it's by other people who were elected by them. So this woman was put forward and say, okay, vote for her or against her. Say, okay, we vote for her. I didn't even know who the person was, or the Europeans are like, okay, and she's the president. How much value you have? You were just taken from here, put over here. Guys, you got to vote. They voted. She's the new president. There you have it. That's how it works in the European Union. The love of democracy. All right, and this is from Associated Press by Lauren Cook, June 7th, 2022. By the way, today's, I think, Tom Jones's birthday. Happy birthday, Tom Jones. All right, no justice reform in Poland, no money. EU chief vows. So she vows, an unelected by the people person, she tells Poland, no money for you because no justice reform. So she has the power to say yes or no. This woman, tell the Poles, she was not elected by the Poles. No, by anybody, by the big shots over there. That's how she was elected. Elected, you know what I mean, voted for or against. Put over there by some whom? Interests? There you have it. Not by Warsaw or by, I don't know, somebody, Brussels. The European Union's chief, this woman, executive, vowed Tuesday that Poland would not get money from the bloc's vast pandemic relief fund borrowed from banks, international banks, put that, from the bloc vast pandemic relief fund. Where's that fund coming from? Relief fund, like, oh, it's in my sock. Take it for you. Oh, here is Poland, some funds for you. Unbelievable. Until the right wing, right wing now, be careful, government rolls back measures deemed to limit the independence of the country's judiciary. Well, if it's so, it's so. If it's not okay, the polls, make it right, okay? Hire some or appoint some Soros-sponsored judges and you'll be A-okay. How much you want, just right over there. That's fine. Poland is aligned to receive nearly 36 billion euros, $38.5 billion to help its economy recover from the impact of measures introduced by limit the spread of the coronavirus. But the EU has frozen its access to the funds amid concerns, I think I'm concerned, about political interference with judiciary. If that's so, then it's a problem. But the problem is Poland's problem, not Brussels. Now, if it's Brussels, then it's a different story. The European Commission, which proposes EU laws and supervises the way they are enacted, insists that the disciplinary chamber for Polish judges be abolished, that its rule book be rewritten, and the judges sanctioned by the chamber have their cases reviewed. All right, so they got in trouble and now they want to review the cases. Some judges that were not supposed to get in trouble, probably they got in trouble, so they have to be saved now. And then this, I hate this, the new sentence I'm going to read, because I heard this, first time when I heard this like that was former President Obama. And I hate it because it's like, what the are you talking about? But this is it. Let me be very clear. Just talk. Don't have to, let me be very clear that these three commitments translated into milestones must be fulfilled before any payments can be made. You do that, money. Don't do that, no money. See how things work? None of it is right. I'm not going to make you with, with debates or anything. I give you money to do what I want. You don't want the money? That's fine. Don't do what I want. So script, money. No script, no money. That's nice. That's nice. All right. So European Commissioner, so translated milestone must be fulfilled before any payments can be made. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen told the EU lawmakers in Strasbourg, France. The European Parliament has also launched action against Poland over democratic backsliding. The lawmakers have criticized von der Leyen and her commission for being too slow to act. Some are calling for a non-confidence vote on her should the commission release any funds too early. So these guys don't want to force her to speed up the process of not releasing any money. Like, no, what are you doing? Stay over there. And I'm quoting again. I know that some of you are skeptical, but let me assure you that no money will be dispersed until these reforms are undertaken. And of course, von der Leyen said, a first payment will only be possible when a new law is in force that ticks all the boxes under this contract, she said. There's no negotiation. It's all or nothing. Good luck. You're in the European Union. See how things are done. Make your own laws for Poland. You can't because they tell you so. You want the money? Why aren't you independent? They say, screw you. I'm going to do my own thing. Bye-bye. Because they point, the Russian bear is going to come tumbling on you and they're going to squash you. And yes, I'm quoting again what this lady said. And it's woman. She has to prove she's a lady first. She has to earn it first. Poland must demonstrate by the end of 2022 that all unlawfully dismissed judges have been reinstated. If this is not the case, there cannot be any further disbursement. All right, so you know what to do. Poland's lawmakers are still working on changing Supreme Court's regulations to abolish the disciplinary chamber. Only one of the dozens of suspended judges has been reinstated, but to a different section in his court, and has been ordered to go on leave. Dutch liberal parliamentarian, communist, but it's so liberal should be free, but liberal are on the left. The left are the socialists, are the communists. So how could that be liberal? Liberal is for free, liberté. And there are always more control by the government. How is that liberal? How is that socialist? So Sophia is in Welt said the commission conditions are merely a smokescreen. All right, she said, if you make any payment to Poland without all the criteria having been fully met, you lose my confidence. It's democracy. It's democracy. That's democracy. You do what I want and I pay you money. Is that what it is? Maybe you try to discuss with them, but you can't. You can't, because you can't force the people do what you want unless you threat, blackmail, and pay them, bribe them. Poland pandemic recovery plan must still be endorsed by the other 26 EU member states before the end of the month. It would pave the way for government to eventually gain access to 23.9 billion euros, $25.4 billion in grants, and 11.5 billion euros, $11.7 billion in loans. EU officials have said that Poland is unlikely to win access to any of the money for several months. You know what, Poland? I give you an advice. Do it on your own. Leave those guys alone and do it on your own, like the Hungarian neighbors are doing. Otherwise, they will want more and more and more. And your society will not be Polish anymore, will be European, if you know what I mean, with its values. So it's like Europe has a kind of values, and the countries that form the Europe, they have to adjust their values, which are in Europe, to the values of Europe. How is that working? I think that Europe is based on the values of all of them. And besides, some countries may have different values than other countries. So how can you make the European values being a common denominator for everybody? How can you do that? There could be a certain kind of, no killing, no hurting others, punishment for this, punishment for that. I got that. But when you go to different little things, you get too involved. The communist system over there, the Brussels, too involved. Well, anyway, as I said, if those judges were punished, unlawfully, by all means, justice should prevail. But to do it this way, it's too obvious, because that could be used in any kind of way you want. If tomorrow Europe will decide that, I don't know, a certain kind of value is now the European value, and you don't abide by it, and you don't incorporate it in your national values, let's say as a Pole or as a Hungarian or a Romanian, then you don't receive the money from the bankers. Who are those guys in charge of this? Who are they? Well, we know some of them, and not only the ones that are in charge. These are not in charge. These are just the tools used to make you change that. The guys behind are very different. As the former British Prime Minister Disraeli, maybe you know that guy, my fellow Brits, he said in an interview, or I don't know if in an interview on one of his books, I don't know he said, those people who rule the world are very, very different from you and I. Very much different. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. So yeah, I believe that. The people who impose certain values and all kind of naughtiness to the rest of us are very, very different from us. Very different. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.